She's about to throw a stone at me here. She's
And that's why you're not allowed to.
So guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back once again to Ardnamurchan. And today's been a bit of a kind of day. Even though the weather was fantastic, we had a bit of work to do this morning. Left our little park up in pretty cold conditions actually. The snow was reasonably heavy on the higher ground. Came back down into sort of sunnier climes, did a little bit of shopping, and then went to go for a walk. Now I had completely underestimated the length of the walk. So we got about 3.5 miles in and realised it was just going to take too long. Nicola's ankle as well. We're doing a check first of all. I'm taking us to a car park, hopefully. But we were speaking to someone last night and they happened to mention that they tried to get here and a gate was shut and it looks like it's way downhill. And after what happened in Slovenia, I really don't want to have to reverse back up this hill. So Nicola's gone down to check to see whether the car park is actually accessible. Car park's okay. The road down was pretty tight, mind you, and the little car park is quite small. Anyway, let's get out there. Well, that should make for some interesting vlog content, eh? The original plan for this morning was to go find this one a shower. Touchy subject this. We found a shower, but it turns out that the little walk that I had planned right now to go to Singing Sands Beach is slightly longer than I had anticipated. And by slightly longer, I mean about 5 miles longer. 3 miles out and 3 miles back. And then where we're hoping to stay tonight is before the anticipated shower point. So another day without showering, or at the very least, van shower. So someone had built up our hopes and they have been shattered. It's also unseasonably warm. Oh, there we go.
Can't take my hat off though.
Why?
You know why.
Someone needs your hair washed apparently. Plenty of time to wash your hair in the van. I promise to give you a wonderful outlook to wash your hair too. She's about to throw a stone at me here. Scratch that idea. That was to actually go and see the Singing Sands Beach, I believe. We then jumped back in the van and drove to what was going to be, what was sold to us anyway, as a really nice park-up. And I'm sure it probably is, but we've seen better. It was going to be a little £5 honesty box, but it just seemed a bit surrounded by a lot of houses and stuff. So we then drove on and we've come up to Glen Uig. Now, one bonus we did have was we managed to find a shower here at the Glen Uig Village Hall. Honesty box-based little shower room, so fantastic. And then the upside to all of today, now it's only about another 10 minutes before sunset, so we're probably not going to get to make the most of this area, is where we're parked up. Not too bad at all, but I think all of our exploring is going to have to kind of start from tomorrow, because I think as that light starts to dip, we're going to jump back in the van. Nicola is in the van there. I think she actually is doing a little bit of work on a Saturday evening, no less, as well. Bizarrely, we've been here before. We pulled in to check for directions at the Glen Uig Inn, and we realised we've stayed there before. Not actually in the inn, we stayed in the little car park outside. But yeah, we've been here before. But I think we're just going to park up here and stay here this evening. Seems to be tolerated, accepted, and I think we're just going to have an evening in the van and then continue our explorations, where I hear there might even be a castle tomorrow. I'm sure Nicola's looking forward to that. But that's not too shabby at all. Right, back to the van. Well, good morning again, guys. A very peaceful night, as expected. Quite a nice morning. Sunrise about 15 minutes ago. Of course, we're nestled in this little kind of nook, so probably won't see any sunlight for a while. And actually, the road, I'm assuming somewhere like this doesn't get gritted. It's a little bit slippy, so we might have to hang around here for a little bit, but that's okay. Ardnamurchan has been an absolute, just wonderful. I know Nicola has struggled at times just with the remoteness and the wildness of the place, but even she is starting to kind of settle into the rhythm. Now, I think today is going to be the last reasonable days weather-wise. I think not only is the temperature rising over the next couple of days, but the rain is coming. Now, we're hoping the rain's going to be just overnight, and wind as well. It looks like it's going to be quite windy by the middle of the week, so that should be fun. 8:15. I think I'm going to disappear back into the van. Yeah, Nicola's still in bed. Disappear back into the van, grab myself that all-important second coffee, wait for the sun to kind of peek up over the distant mountains, and generally just chill out. A slow-paced day today, I think. As a wise man once said, none too shabby. So this is the little community centre at Mallaig. Showers, toilets, fresh water, bins, all donation based. We are planning a bit of a backtrack on ourselves, half an hour back the way we came, because someone tells me there's a castle to be seen. Actually, that someone was me. I just reminded Nicola there was a castle, and she was like, ooh, castles. So that's the plan. Let's go. So we've arrived down at the castle, and we're just actually waiting for the tide to lower just a little bit more. It's accessible at lower tide. So it's time for a cup of tea, and we managed to get our scones. With, by the way, if you're ever at a National Trust property and you see this jam, the sour cherry, pick it up. Pick up many jars of it. It's fantastic, especially with scones and clotted cream. But yeah, we'll have a scone, wait for the tide to go down, and then somebody who's in the front is going to get to go see what, Nicola?
Castle!
A castle. Oh, look, I managed to actually get out of the van.
I've missed castles. I really have.
Yeah.
I just see it and instantly I've got a smile on my face.
It had to be castles that got her out of the van. So this is Tioram, Tioram castle. Could be 12th, could be 13th, or could be 14th century.
Oh, you don't know?
I'm just going by what Wikipedia said. It could be one of the three.
I didn't even know what it was called, so I can't comment.
Exactly.
It's just a castle.
And it is only just a castle. And it is only accessible during the lower tide, which is what we're at now. And as the little sign says, be careful, it's dangerous. Ooh. Things are going to fall down. Ooh. Right, let's go for a mooch. Oh, I think she's been denied. You used to be able to get into it because I have seen some reviews of people where you can actually walk amongst some of the rooms, but I'm not sure how long it's been closed for. I'll actually look.
February 2000.
Not. Really? It's been closed since February 2000? Oh well. In Europe they would just let you walk in there, and if you don't come out, that's your bad. Still really nice to see though. A beautiful spot, really lovely spot. I wouldn't be surprised if I just saw something go down over there. See See where there's a little rip there? Keep an eye out. Might have just been a bird. Or could it have been an otter?
All the lovers, we were diving for different colours that we had to put to sleep.
And this is Loch Moidart. I think this is an island. Maybe the island's up there somewhere, but looking on Google Maps it looks as though there is a clump of land with, I believe, some folks who maybe live on there as well. And I forgot to mention, just as I got out of the van earlier, there was an eagle soaring up here as well. Oh. Scotland just continues to deliver. Look, it's even delivered a castle, albeit one that you can't walk around.
I'm a bit disappointed because it looks like it would be really good to wander around. It doesn't actually look that dangerous. We've been in far more dangerous places.
You've seen
Remember the time I set myself alight?
It's very true. Text message as I'm out wandering the little park. I've just set myself on fire. I didn't even reply. I was just like, oh well, it is Tuesday. Wonder is that house on right move? I'd pick that one up. I'm sure Tesco's do delivery to here. We were just about to leave and initially we thought it was an otter, but it's a seal. Just mooching around behind us here. The wildlife in Scotland is just absolutely fantastic. You can definitely hear something over here as well. And there's a heron fishing. Now that we have that tidal change, good chance to maybe spot otters as well.
To promised land. You got a whole religion in the palm of your hand.
A very nice little lunch spot along by the loch. And we've just called into the little community centre again here at Glenouig to use the facilities. And then we're going to carry on heading up north, where I think we'll actually get off the Ardnamurchan Peninsula. Actually, I messaged one of my friends. She asked where I was and I said Ardnamurchan. She was like, you just made that name up, didn't you? But we're going to then start making our way out the little road that takes you out towards Mallaig. Try to find a reasonable park up, maybe somewhere by the coast where we can maybe do a little bit of wildlife watching. Find somewhere pleasant to pull in for the evening. Football's on today, it's Sunday today. Hopefully be able to listen to Man U thump Tottenham. Actually two terrible teams playing each other, so it's probably going to be about 46-45 to someone. Once Nicola finishes up in the facilities, we'll get out of here and we shall start moving north. But guys, if anyone from Glenouig is watching this here, thank you so much for putting on little centres like this here. We've left a little bit of a donation. Showers, water, bins, pleasant place to park. I'm sure during the summer months, nice place to sit and have a picnic as well. Obviously no overnight parking in the village centre, so make sure we don't do that. Plenty of places all around as well, so fantastic. And actually the Glenouig Inn, we've been there before. It doesn't look like it's open this time of year, but I seem to remember they do a fine selection of eels and whiskies as well. So, right, onward.
We went down the wishing well.
So you can tell that you're on a more of a touristic track now. We have driven up to Mallaig, which is obviously where you get the little ferry over to the Isle of Skye. I've been here a couple of times before, and I had hoped that we were going to be able to find a little park up by the beach, but everywhere is either no overnight parking, or it doesn't look that sensible to park at, or completely chocker. So I think we're going to turn on our heels and head back down the road again, which is a bit of a waste really, but hey.
Oh, but the views were lovely driving.
The views were nice,
so
and
it was worth it for that.
They have again some community showers and toilets here in the little car park in Mallaig, but strangely no campsites in Mallaig. I find that very odd, given the fact that this ferry can quite often get cancelled because the strait going across the Skye can be pretty notorious.
I suppose there are campsites about 5-10 minutes back, mind you, on the little windy road, but they were looking to be about £36 a night. Yeah, a lot of money.
Right, we shall turn on our heels, drive back down the sort of road towards Fort William. See, that was the thing about being down in Ardnamurchan, because it's not that frequented from a tourism point of view. You have the pick of the park ups, but hey, we got the drive up, a nice little Sunday drive in the sun, and now hopefully I'll make it for kick-off. Fingers crossed. Well, we found a park up for the night. Not very picturesque looking this way. We're quite close to the road, but not too shabby looking this way. It's going to be sunset in about 45 minutes time anyway, so more scones on the go, listen to the football, and we shall catch up tomorrow. And surrounded by the mountains as well. See you in the morning.
Just with the 1 goal cushion, 3.5 minutes plus added time remaining.
We went down the wishing well.
Well, good morning guys. And despite being right by the roadside, a very quiet night. In fact, traffic has really just started to appear in the last half an hour, so it's about 8:15. Nicola's in the van getting ready. A grey day. I think this, as I think I've said before, this is the start of the more interestingly milder weather. I think by middle of the week it's going to be 14-15 degrees or so, but that does bring with it wind and rain. Now, our ferry was originally booked for Friday, but looking at the weather on Friday and the sea state on Friday, there might be a chance our ferry would get cancelled. So I've actually brought it forward to Wednesday. We've both got quite a lot of work to do as well, so we just thought rather than paying for a campsite middle of the week to just sit in the rain, we're going to get out of here on the Wednesday afternoon. But we've still got a couple of days to explore. Now, as I said last night, obviously trying to get somewhere to park up on that main tourist route towards Mallaig, completely impossible. So we brought ourselves back down again onto Ardnamurchan, just on the edge of it. But this morning we are going to start making our way towards Fort William, pick up some supplies, and then we're going to take a slow, meandering journey down through Oban and across that way, heading south. But it's been beautiful. It's been really nice to just wake up and have mountains and Lochside right on the doorstep. And as I've said, we've had the last couple of weeks in the vlogs for you guys and the last week for us in real time. The weather has been fantastic. Cold, but really dry and sunny. And right. A couple of red deer actually just spooked them and ran down here as well. So, and again, the wildlife, fantastic. It would have been lovely to maybe see an otter here last night, but as the light was fading and the tide was coming in, no joy. So, and man, you got beat again, so joy. Right, going to carry on seeing whether we can spot anything, and we'll catch up in a bit. So we just popped into Fort William. Nicola doing a little bit of retail therapy, and I love Wetherspoons for morning coffee and getting a little bit of work done. £1.71 for unlimited refills. So a coffee and a decaf coffee, £1.71. Good Wi-Fi, electric hookup, all good. Right, now I've got to go and find Nicola. I think she was after a chicken. What's new, eh? What's new? So we've come full circle. So we're over at the little Corin ferry that takes you over to the Ardnamurchan Peninsula. Obviously we drove the long way around, and as you can see, it's a very short journey. I think it only takes about 5 minutes, if that, and the ferry just goes back and forward, back and forward. You can't book it, you just turn up and wait for it to kind of come across. As I think I said in last week's video, in hindsight, I probably would get the Corin ferry. It's not cheap, at 15 quid, but the road down there is especially if you're in any kind of rush. But yeah, kind of feels like I want to just jump back on the ferry and head back across to Ardnamurchan, just to get back into the wilds again, because since coming out of Mallaig yesterday, it's been very touristic again. Use the facilities and then carry on heading south.
Got my chicken.
And that's all she needs to say. Well, good morning again. So last night we just stayed in the car park of the Loch Fyne Seafood and Oyster Cafe. They allow overnight stays. Unfortunately, they're closed on a Tuesday and Wednesday, and it's Tuesday today. I was so looking forward to a black pudding sausage roll. Oh, I can highly recommend them. We then drove across towards Tarbert, where they have, which is where we are right now, a little services facility, free of use. You can actually stay here overnight as well. I think it's £7 or something to stay overnight. And we are now going to start making the journey south towards Carnryan, towards Stranraer, to get our ferry, which is tomorrow. I think we said we brought our ferry forward a couple of days because the sea state on Friday looks a little bit choppy. But Nicola's just in using the facilities. We're going to head down, and I guess we'll catch up for a little bit of an outro closer to Stranraer. Looks like we got very lucky with the weather last week as well, because it now looks rain, snow, wind. Ugh. Right, catch up in a bit. Well guys, that brings our little week in Ardnamurchan to an end, and it looks like we're getting out just in time. So we are down at the port. Unfortunately, our ferry has been delayed by about 3 hours, but that did allow us to head back into Stranraer and grab a last little Scottish breakfast on the go. Oh, gonna miss haggis. And then we just stayed, last night we just stayed in the little car park here at the P&O ferry. Just bear in mind, they've actually started introducing charges now, so it's £6 for 24 hours. Still not bad value because there are toilets open all night. We kind of wish they had...
They offered for us to get on the 8 o'clock last night because we arrived about 6:30, and we decided against it because Nigel had been driving for hours, and now we wish we had, because we would have been back for a whole day. But never mind.
Anyway, so we're hopefully about to board to our crossing. I think it's going to be a little bit choppy. And then back down to my parents' house. And then I guess we'll catch up next week when I think we're going to do a Q&A. So if you've any burning questions that you want to ask us, then fire those into the comments below and we'll try our best to answer those.
For those of you who've already submitted questions, we do have them.
Yep.
So these are just in addition to those.
Exactly. Right guys, well once again, thanks a lot for following along, and I hope you enjoyed these last 2 weeks of us exploring Ardnamurchan. We certainly have.
It's so beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning,
So beautiful.
and we got really lucky with the weather. But once again, thanks a lot for following along, and until next time, somewhere in Ireland, doing a bit of a Q&A. Take care. I really want haggis.
You've already had haggis today. You only have one haggis a day.
One haggis a day. Get that on a t-shirt. See you later. Bye bye.
The weather for crossing Tioram this afternoon is not too bad. Southeasterly there, persistent southeasterly breeze, but it should remain reasonably steady and coming the way across. Would you please note the legal right drivers and passengers to remain on or return to the vehicle next while the ship is at sea. Following this announcement will be important information regarding your safety in a likely event of an emergency. Particularly ask you to take the attention to these emergency instructions if you're ready.